Hello, it's the normal player guy, and hey, it's that time of year again where we've got to go through the top 20 most helpful units typing that we have. Now, we are entering the 1 year of my recording, and I started off doing these, so hey, this is it. So, I'm going to be doing this based off the fact that it's just before the 8th anniversary. These videos may be a bit late, so here are the top 20 most helpful. That is the key thing. It's not the help, not the best. It's the most helpful. Here are the rules that we have. So it's not all LRs, and it's going to have some free to play units. And I've based this around for new and veteran players, and I've based it around those who truly are unique and helpful for what they do, irrespective of how someone may grade them in a power ranking. These are strictly the most helpful. Now, of course, no one will particularly agree with me. In fact, a lot of people will probably disagree with me, but there'll be some common ground. So, let's start off with C. Now, I've done this as A, B, and C. There'll be the top 10 in A, and then the rest in B and C. Now, these are by no means terrible coming in at C. They have a few quirks and maybe just one or two little things holding them back. So, we're going to enter the game with, let's see. Enter the game with the GT Hero Brothers support, right? So GT, Goten, and Gohan. They are fantastic. They are brilliant support for GT Heroes, greatly raise on their super attack, and they can do additionals. They truly are fantastic support. But I think the limiting factor is the fact that they're on GT Heroes. They have a counterpart, which is AGL, Goten, and Trunks, and they are a Goku and a Vegeta family support, so they are truly unique, right? So with that in mind, they're probably better than the counterpart, but this is still incredibly useful. And the fact that these are truly great, they can hold their own and can be useful for like hybrid Saiyans as well. If there's any GT heroes in there, which there could be some overlap, of course, right? Could be really, really good. But of course, the only thing holding them back is very restrictive, but they are fantastic in what they do. So, right, okay, so then we have Jinembu. So Jinembu is another fantastic unit, right? Jinembu is truly amazing. He's recently had his EZA. In fact, we can bring him up a little bit on this. I do think he is worthy of a mention. I have got let's see, Jan Hembu. So I have got last year's ranking on as well. He's had an EZA. Yeah. So last year's ranking, we had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, then it was Super Buu, Raditz, and Janemba, and that's here. So in terms of and the GT heroes, they're the supports, they're actually in B tier. It looks like now they've been downgraded, but they're still on this. And Janembu was on A tier, but he has dropped. Mainly the reason is it's been a year. Things have changed. We've had plenty of plethora of units, both free and top end, right? So of course things are going to be shaken up, but you probably still find some similarities. This guy is still fantastic after his EZA. He stacks attack and defense even on his even at level 10, not so much 15, but he has starter turn stats. He stacks pretty ridiculously. Yeah, he lowers enemy attack. He heals. Right, he has a chance to guard. He has a chance to dodge. It is pretty ridiculous, and the teams he can help out on stuff like crossover, fusion, and margin power. He's really good as a floater for margin power. Yes, his links stuff like Berserker is going to be a bit difficult to get, and not many boos run shattering the limit actually. So yeah, you might struggle. And infinite regeneration, some boos have it, but some don't. So you're like Berserker. We look at Berserker. I mean, yeah, okay, there is this boo in particular, so you could legitimately run him. What else is there on this? We have infinite regeneration. So there are actually boos you can run on this. So infinite regeneration is a little bit of defense, key, you get 2 key at level 10, so that could be really good. He is fantastic as a floater, absolutely no doubt. So who do we have next entering this? So now we have Super Saiyan 3 crossover Vegeta, right? Actually, he's underrated. Seriously, he is completely underrated. Let me just bring him up. He is going to be this boy. So he's fantastic because like where was he? I had him. So here he is. He's on B tier, and now he's dropped to C. But again, that's just a plethora of units, right? So, so he is brilliant what he does. So he's a Super Saiyan 3 lead. He has had an awakening pretty recently, and I believe, was it, 2021. So his awakening is pretty decent, but he's pretty good. Because look, like, he has starter turn defense. He gets attacking defense per being received, and that builds up. His super attack effect builds up 30% for 6 turns, and attack. He gets additional attack and defense when each attack received, and the fact that he gets this bonus buff for just receiving an attack. I mean, the dude goes from like 80k defense to like just north of 200 on the next rotation if you keep him around. And the fact that this builds up is pretty ridiculous. Additionals would be huge for this guy. Maybe a bit of crit. He has a great link set, right? You got GT and you got like Royal Lineage and Prodigies, as well as like Limit Breaking Form. He doesn't have Over in the Flash because he's on Super Saiyan 3, but again, that is the main probably weakness. But then again, he does have stuff like GT. So like GT Hero Vegeta would work pretty well on like the Worthy Rivals and Vegeta family, right? And Pure Saiyans Gifted Warriors. Legitimately, this guy's fantastic. He's like underrated. Nobody talks about him but me. He's brilliant. Honestly, what he does on his next rotation is pretty absurd. Yeah, he's dropped a little bit, but honestly, I could just put him back into B. But again, the plethora of units that we've had, the various easy A's, they're hit and miss. So next we have Gohan. So this particular Gohan, he is good. Now he hasn't got an awakening yet. I do not think. We'll just bring him up pretty quickly. He comes from the World Tournament guaranteed SSR tickets. If you go for like the World Tournament exclusive ones, yeah, he's yet to get an awakening, but he's pretty good. He has a huge amount of start and turn defense and reduces damage against one enemy. On top of which, he stacks defense. Honestly, he might only be level 100, but like this is pretty nice when you've got a Goku family member just on the team, right? He stacks defense, reduces damage against one enemy. Dude, when he has his awakening, he's going to be pretty redonkulous. That'll probably go to about 8,000. So I mean, it's not so bad. Having in just like one dupe, it's probably going to touch almost 8,500. That's going to be pretty great. I mean, he's good on a lot of things, like against one enemy, especially stacking events. And there are missions for like the fighting legend events where you gotta do stuff like Bond of Master and Disciple, Super Saiyan, Cell Saga, Hybrid, Goku family, right? He's going to be absolutely useful. Seriously, he is a beast, and you can rock him even the likes of like Super Battle Road. Maybe not extreme Super Battle Road, but you can rock him in like Super Battle Road. So that's the reason why he's here. Where was he last year? Last year he was at B. He's dropped a little bit to C. So what do we have now? So the next one that we have now is it's going to be Shenron. So the only reason he's on here, he's brilliant. Much like the GT heroes, he does a lot for himself when it comes to the Shadow Dragons, right? And also that would include GT bosses. So let's bring it up. So it'll be Shenron. Here he is. So Sin Shenron. So he's pretty great, right? He's pretty nutty, and this is absolutely huge. So he raises attack and defense for the turn, right? He gets 100% of stats. He's a GT boss's lead, and I don't really think there's anything better. Who is, I mean, outside of, so you're 150%, but legitimately, you have him, you're no better off. Yeah, if you have him, you get slightly extra stats, but dude, we don't have a GT boss's proper lead, so he is still a proper contender, which makes him very, very valuable. I mean, he gets this with two or more key spheres, 3, then 4, 50% chance to crit with 6. He can hit AGL with 5. It's pretty nutty, right? 70% extra and 50% chance to super with 7 key spheres. I think by then you're pushing it. I think like you can get this, and this with 4. I think 4 is pretty fair. And he's getting like 150%. Dude coming in with like, I mean, it's not bad. Coming in with one dupe, 8,000, comes in with Rainbow. He's a year old. And he's pretty nutty, right? You want to go additionals only because you can try and maximize this. But dude, the dude's pretty powerful. And of course, he has a fantastic link set which works well with all of these, right? And hell, it even works with the new Super 17, right? So, yeah, I mean, you can get a whole bunch of links, but that'll be like Fear and Faith, Shocking Speed, Brutal Beatdown, and GT. That's what he'll have, right? But yeah, Shadow Dragons as well. Like, this guy is the main unit for Shadow Dragon Saga. Could be huge. The banner unit as well. Seriously, he is brilliant. But again, much like the other particular units, it's down to where you can use him. So that will conclude 15 to 20. So now we do 11, well, that'd be 16 to 20. Now we will do 11 to 15. And started off, we have a good one, which is Super Saiyan Vegeta. He's from the movie. He had his EZA probably last year's worldwide celebration, I believe. He is pretty good. In particular, I used him. Here he is. I used him on my EZA King video when I truly am. When I hit level 999 on Broly, pretty much a fantastic achievement, but uber sad. And honestly, I was using him up to like 957, and then by pure fluke, I got Piccolo. But he's brilliant. This is huge, right? He already has 200%. He greatly raises with a 50% chance to stun, coming in at 55%. Pretty decent. I mean, this unit's pretty old. So what? 2019. He came out, so people probably have a dupe or two. So coming in at 9,000. Honestly, the dude can have like 200 plus K defense, and he greatly raises. He also gets this. No, so you also get this. So after the first hit, which is pretty great. But yeah, and you also get this if there's a movie hero ally, just one in the same turn. So what, you got like a 20% chance to crit, another 20% chance to crit, and then another one. So that's 40. So then you get 60% chance to crit, and then the dude gets like 90% chance to crit. It's pretty ridiculous. The dude is monstrous. So how do you work it? Well, you probably go dodge or additional. Like, he has plenty of crit. Depending on how much health you have, you can up to like 90% crit. He has 200% here. A movie hero gives him 50%. 80% or less, you get this. I mean, it's pretty nutty, right? In terms of like movie hero, who we got? Well, we got like Vegeta Family, Mastered Evolution, Pure Saiyan. I mean, fantastic across the board. And who do we have? We have like his best. So we include like the top 25. Top 25 are, yeah, okay. So who do we have for movie hero? Movie hero comes in with let's see, is yeah, this guy I'm pretty sure is on movie hero. No, he's not. It's not that particular one. So he's from the so anyone from Movie Hero. No particular Vegeta from Movie Hero, but yes, when it comes to the likes of some of these, like Mastered Evolution, Worthy Rivals, Vegeta Family, look at the amount of links you can get. Look at the amount of teams that are available, right? Huge amount of teams. When we check out movie heroes, who can you rock? There's a plethora of units, right? Hell, you could slap him on with any of these. Gamma 1, Gamma 2, and these guys are all on the current anniversary banners. Pretty legit. You got movie hero, what else is there? Movie hero. I don't know if these are from it. I don't think they are. But there's a movie hero if you must. There's a whole bunch of people that you can use to help this guy out. He is truly phenomenal. Where did he have a spot last year? He did not have a spot last year. That is because his EZA came out in the worldwide download celebration, which was a couple of months after I did this. I tend to do these just before the anniversary, hence why the new ones are not on this. So yeah, that is this guy in particular. He has made the board this time round. He is truly huge. That chance to stun as well is pretty legit. Yeah, so that's pretty great. So now we have this guy, and this is the other blue Vegeta. So we go back to Vegeta, him. So he is pretty decent. He is by far one of the most helpful units going. It's a shame. Was he in the top tier? He wasn't. He's still at B. The only reason this guy's not at B is a whole bunch of these have had EZAs, and a whole bunch still maintain their usefulness. Whereas this guy, he is still a beast, there's no doubt. He is a huge helper in because he can heal and can generate orbs. So he's a tech orb changer, and he gets, 10%, he gets 20% per key sphere and 10% if it extra if it's a tech. So the dude's getting 30% of stats per key sphere, and if you get lucky, you can actually go from you can heal up a huge chunk. He has a legitimate leader skill as well. If you're struggling for worthy rivals, maybe you refresh your account, chances of you having this guy, because he's in the loot pool since like 2017, so he's like 6 years old, right? Legitimately is great. Where he was ass until 2019, and then he had his easy A, and he stacks as well. He stacks attack and defense, right? It's pretty ridiculous. He works well with all the Vegetas, all the gods. It's pretty ridiculous. Works well with the anniversary unit. So if you came in just after the 7th anniversary and then this time round you managed to pull these, fantastic orb changes, and these guys perform well at 20 key and 18 respectively. This guy as well, he's a rainbow orb changer. Try not to use these side by side because he's a tech orb changer and he is a rainbow orb changer, and it could be the tech, so you got to work out. However, he could turn to rainbow and he could turn the rainbow to tech, and you've got a monstrous unit. This unit could give you a couple of good heals. He's super tech, so again, if you wanted to run him on battlefield with Piccolo, LR Piccolo could be a pretty spicy boy. This guy could get a nice buff because he helps Realm of Gods and tech type units, right? So again, huge amounts. This guy is immensely useful for all of these teams. He's a tech orb changer, can heal, and he heals up quite a lot. Now, in some difficult content, he will get slapped aside. There is absolutely no doubt. But for likes of Super Battle Road, some battlefield stages, maybe like level 2, and then some easy A's as well, he's more than capable. Dude, I was running this particular easy A in the Broly up until like stage 700. And then it just came to a point where you need like 15 orbs just to be relevant. But other than that, feed him the orbs if you can, and boy, are you going to get a very tasty heal. That is legitimately, he's here. In fact, he could be here for like the next year as well. There's a lot of these. Why you may not strictly agree or even heard of these or laugh at these, some of these you've got to agree. So next coming in, we have this unit. So the androids, they are pretty powerful, but they're on a team that's wonky, it's a bit broken. The team itself is fractured between Android and the Black Saga. So yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. But what they do from turn 1 against one enemy as well is pretty decent. Where are they? 17. It is these two, because they have an ability when you're facing one enemy, even at full health. So turn 1, so what? Oh yeah, so when facing one enemy who's 35% HP, so turn 1 against one, so you can go into Cell Max in the final event, and you can Ghost Usher him. And that's legitimately how some people have done it, including me. Or when facing 3 or more enemies straight away. So one against difficult content like fighting legend events or like Cell Max or something like that, or Metal Cooler Core, huge. Or 3 or more people, which is pretty common when going into Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, right? Even some red zone stages like the Bojack red zone stage are pretty nutty, right? They've 30% and seal super attack. They have a ridiculous amount of defense coming in at 55%, pretty great. That extra amount of defense is great. They're an orb changer, right? And then they get this per orb. This if it's not a tech orb, it's pretty rad, right? And then of course you get additional with 8 or more key spheres, which you will do because the R tech orb changer, right, is pretty nutty. You get key +1 per rainbow, which helps out because chances are if you're going to get like 7 or 8 key spheres, you're probably going to pick out 1 or 2 rainbow, right? That's pretty great. Launches a guaranteed super attack if HP is 35% or less, which is nice, fine. And of course they have this. So it's that this one's pretty niche because you have when receiving the attack you've only got a small chance to do it under a threshold. So yeah, but these are pretty nutty because like they can go up to like 400k defense, 350 or something like that with like 55%. Seriously, don't let this particular number fool you. They are pretty crazy. As I say, the only problem is Worldwide Chaos or Future Saga. It's totally split between black and androids, and you are not going to link. I mean, who's the like this? This is the first one. What are you going to get? A little bit of attack, Worldwide Chaos, right? So yeah, but in terms of comparable to like these units who are huge, you got Android Cell Saga, and Joint Forces with like Android Assault and so you got way more coming in. These two are pretty gnarly as a combination. Android Assault coming in as well with Twin Terrors, right? Android sibling bonds. It unlocks more opportunities, right? More opportunities of all of these. And of course, like, are you going to run it with this guy? Well, he's an extreme class support. Sure, no, he's an extreme class realm of god support. So again, totally useless outside of attack. You'd never run it with any of these guys. But yeah, no, okay. So these guys are the way to go. Since they are Android Cell Saga Extreme Class, are they? Yeah, they are. This guy is absolutely fantastic. He is a 50% support for such. So again, these are absolutely huge. If you have these, the fact that I mean, the biggest thing going for them is the Ghost Usher straight off the bat. It's brilliant. Just Cell Max, Metal Cooler Core, the one where you're against that Int, Goku and Vegeta, pretty difficult event. Just boom, straight away, just take them out, right? Yeah, these are maybe not the units to take them out, but onto these stages, but sure. And then Super Battle Road, right? Androids, what we got? Androids even has an extreme Super Battle Road. Future Saga has an extreme Super Battle Road. It's pretty crazy. Very, very difficult because you're against like 544. Android Cell Saga, right? Pretty nutty. So the Extreme Super Battle Road could be useful purely just because that you can Ghost Usher them. And then, of course, you can carry Ghost Ushers in, so you can totally lock everyone. So that's pretty rad. So that's the only reason here. Of course, they don't have them on this. If anything, something like Adult Go Tanks or maybe Movie Hero Krillin came into this. Obviously, we'll talk about this, right? So like Raditz has dropped, he's moved up, and this guy's dropped off. But yeah, so okay, so coming in next we have Super Boo. Now this guy was he? So he's improved up. Now a lot of people will think I'm kidding here, and a lot of people maybe are influenced by YouTubers per se. Here we go. And obviously, whales and YouTubers and big people can influence people, but this, I mean, unless you've actually used them, unless you've been saved by this goat, yeah, no, you'll never believe it. So he has an easy A. He has legitimate defense now, right? Again, yes, coming in at 55%. 8,000 is better than most of the people we've seen thus far. He doesn't have anything on his super attack effect outside. I mean, he has a 30% chance to stun. He might be higher if it was like seal or 50% chance to stun, or even if it was a little bit of defense built in. But the huge thing going for him is this: recovers 30% damage dealt as HP. He also has a chance to crit, which means that he can really put the power and really get a huge amount. And of course, you know, he has a 30% chance to dodge as well. So you could build him any particular way. You could go dodge and totally avoid everything because he's not the tankiest. You could go additionals or crits and totally heal huge. He has a great link set. So imagine you got 30% heal, and then you've got 5% here. And is there another one? Oh, infinite regeneration. So you got 3% here. So dude, you're looking at like nearly 40% heal. And what have you got? This guy heals, was it 15%? A lot, and these will also have metamorphosis and infinite regeneration, right? So again, dude, you're going to be healing like God knows how much, somewhere between uh, 8 and 40%, depending on who it is, because they're all going to have a link. Like infinite regeneration, you know, that's 3% HP. Is that 3%? It's 3% HP no matter what, which is pretty cool. And then you've got like metamorphosis, which I think is flat out 5% no matter what, right? And it's all booze. And then so what we got like, so I'm pretty sure this guy heals on super attack. Let me just, I think it's like 12%, then it goes to 50. Oh yeah, he recovers 14 at the start of the turn. He recovers 14 at the start of the turn. So I mean, dude, you're going to be getting huge amounts. Who is it that heals on super attack? Is it? I think it's you. Is it you who heals on super attack? He recovers 12% HP. He has infinite regeneration, right? It's pretty stupid. But yeah, so he is immensely useful, and the Boo team are immensely useful for. I mean, they're a wonky team. I say they're wonky. You need to get them at links level 10 because like this becomes 2 key, this becomes 2 key, and then you got a lot of attack and defense when it comes to level 10. But again, for what they do, for the heal, the impressive ability that they have, just how much you can help. Battlefield, like legitimately, you take this into Battlefield, into any of the tier 3 sections, right? And they can hit you hard. The enemies can lock your rotation, and you can be out of Battlefield off the tier 3 section turn 1, right? The enemy attacks a bunch of times first, and you can't take any items in with you. You can be totally caught out, right? And that's it, game over, and that's your run done with. But like, you could barely survive. This guy could come in and he does one crit, and you pretty much got all your health back. He's not going to hit poorly, right? Everyone's going to have somewhere between 350, 450,000 health because they're only running typings, right? And this guy can do several million on damage, so you're guaranteed to get like a full heal, probably just no matter what. He was useful even in his base form. He had no starter turn defense, which really, really didn't help. But again, it was just too good. He has his chance to stun, so legitimately, you will, if you use him often enough as a lifesaver, right, you will see this, right? So again, he is incredibly useful. He actually got promoted. That's purely because of his easy A. But who knows if he'll stay around here. So next and lastly for B, we have Goji. No, I'm only joking. No, it's not. It's Frieza. I was going to put something like them onto it, like God Goku. Yeah, God Goku's on here. No. So transforming Frieza. Let's have a look. Transforming Frieza was on tier. What? He was an A class. Wow, he has dropped and he has fallen. Do you know what? He had his easy A by then. Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit of a shame for this guy. I really have put a lot of thought into this. So Frieza. So he has had a solid easy A. Let me just bring him up real quick, right? Here he is. Transforming Frieza is this guy. Oh no, sorry. He is pretty. Oh, this guy. He is pretty decent. Don't get me wrong. Even prior, he still transformed. He still stacked attack and defense. Now he just get a little bit extra. He's extra spicy against superclass enemies because you get this little bit going, so that's pretty nice. Also heals every rotation up until the end, right? I think he actually might heal even in this form. Yeah, you do actually. You recover 15% still. On this one, you greatly raise. Oh no, you just raise attack and defense with a 70% chance to stun. That's pretty crazy. 70% chance to stun, but you got to get to this phase. Every phase, you get exponentially stronger, right? Which is pretty great. He does also have this, which is pretty nice. Guaranteed crit. Again, it basically makes getting to this phase worth it because you have a 70% chance to stun where applicable and a guaranteed crit with a little bit of heal, right? An extra attack against superclass enemies. No doubt. When it comes to this, these days he's dropped off a bit, even with the additional against superclass enemies. So like you maintain that 150% no matter what. The heal is nice, the stacking is nice. He has a brilliant link set. You got like Metamorphosis, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses. Dude's got huge amounts of power in links, which is pretty nice. And he stacks like Wicked Bloodline, Mastered Evolution, Resurrected Warriors, Sworn Enemies, Revenge, Target Goku, Planetary Destruction, Accelerated Battle, Inhuman Deeds. One of the more recent Fight and Legend events has this. Pretty gnarly because the leads blur. But yeah, I mean, you could run Planetary Destruction or Inhuman Deeds for this guy. And yeah, he is brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Hugely helpful, especially against superclass enemies, which is like 80% of the game. Lots of teams. And then, of course, third turn. So that'll be fifth, seventh, ninth. So again, when we talk about the third turn, you get slightly extra, you get slightly extra healing, right? You still stack. So everything just gets slightly better. In terms of how you build them, probably additionals, right? Because you want the most amount of attacks. That being said, does he still stack actually in this? No, he doesn't. So he stops his stacking, right? So once you reach the golden phase, you've stopped. So maybe additionals, and you got to rely on super attacks to get this, right? But outside of that, yeah, he's pretty mental. I'd say the only reason he's dropped is purely because of the caliber of the list. I mean, this time round we've got like let's see, Sin has entered the game. The androids have entered the game. People have been promoted, like this guy. But yeah, people have been demoted. But yeah, there's various EZAs that come in, and just some units have just become more meta relevant. So that's something. So again, however, we now enter the top, and you'll have noticed that basically outside of this guy, all of this is the same. In fact, who is the new one? The only new one we have is the 7th anniversary units. So yeah, I gotta put the 7th anniversary units in because they are still incredible even till this day. So the 8th anniversary units are out. Don't get me wrong, they're brilliant. This particular counterpart is the physical unit. They are pretty groovy, no doubt about that. But these guys, they can still hold a candle to them. Yes, their start of turn defense is a little less these days, but these guys guard for the first turn. They have the nullifying action, and the active skill is probably nicer because and you can transform as well, even easier, right? So I feel like they're definitely better. We got the stuff like Ted God Goku. We don't really strictly need to talk about this guy too much. Like, he was brilliant before his EZA. Now he gets way more. He seals. He has 77% damage reduction against movie bosses and Pure Saiyans. Good God. It's pretty ridiculous. Rainbow Orb Changer, so works well with so many units. Gogeta gets extra key with them, right? All these units could do with Rainbow just to string together. Helpful in every single event. Hell, he can hold his own even in some truly difficult stages. But of course, Cell Max, probably the toughest event in the game, except for maybe Sin. And of course, against Cell Max, super attacks can harm him at around 300k, maybe a bit under. But honestly, that's it. When you come against like the Metal Cooler Core, not a chance. This guy, even type disadvantage, this guy can't really be taken out. He can absorb so much punishment. Various EZAs where you got to use Pure Saiyans and you're up against a movie hero. There's just so many things, which is fantastic. Never mind the pure Saiyan aspect of it. You could stick him into any fighting legend events, and you've absolutely not got a problem. You can stick him in against Red Zone Broly, and he's totally gonna crush. And I think he also has type advantage anyway, or at least type neutral. So totally gonna crush. He is such a defensive stonewall, and the pure Saiyan bit is just totally mad. And like 7th anniversary units, as we've said, they are still helpful even to this day. Yeah, less start of turn stats, but they still stack defense. Yes, the Super Saiyan 2 and 3 counterpart greatly stacks on the 18 key. They both get extra key for the start of turn, extra attack and defense for the first few turns. But again, these guys, they have an easier active skill, which is just on you or the enemy under 50% HP, guaranteed crits. They get dodge and crit per rainbow orb. That's pretty great. Up to 5, isn't it? 5's the max. So you can have like 35% chance to dodge, 35% chance to crit. Legitimately is helpful because dodge is unnerfed to this point. So that's pretty great. Then you got like Golden Freezer. Talk about a tank. Janemba, a tank. Yeah. So what the only really wonky bit about him is actually, was he promoted? Oh, dude, he was. Dude, he went from C to A. Do you know why? He's a defensive unit. Shall we bring him up? He's a defensive unit for sure. There's absolutely no doubt. Let's go back here. Here we go. So Janemba. Hang on. Where is he? Janem. So Janemba. So his only real wonky bit is the fact that you got to get him X amount of rainbow orbs and X amount of key types. So this is any key type, so you just got to get 4 with 2. So usually people get one or the other. So, I mean, you're guaranteed a guard, 2 or more rainbow key spheres, and he definitely helps himself because he raises defense by 30%, right? But you get him 4 or more key spheres, any typing, so long as you get 4, and you get 2 key 30% to any extreme class, which is pretty great. If you happen to get up to 4 key spheres plus 2 rainbow key spheres, I mean, yeah, you're looking pretty great. Yeah, So that's pretty great. It doesn't. So if you get, by the way, if you get 4 rainbow key spheres, that's not it altogether. It specifically is after typings. So bit of a shame on that. He has no key links, which is pretty nutty. Does he have no key links? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. No, but he has plenty of attack. It's not like his counterpart, which is Pycon, who gets 4 key per rainbow. It's pretty nutty. But like he works well with so many people. Like the gin embers are still pretty solid. He has like big bad bosses. He has like metamorphosis, right? So it's pretty decent. Yeah, you got to look at LR Janemba. He's pretty solid. Yeah, the transforming freezer is still useful, right? He's pretty useful. He's great after his easy A. Like he would be phenomenal after his easy A. The caliber of people that you have is immense. That's his support. I mean, you got like LR Janemba, who came out after this video, the last year's Metal Cooler's easy A, his easy A, this LR from last year, this Boo. I mean, I think he's been promoted purely because he can handle his own, no doubt, and the amount of people he can support has gone up massively. Then you got like probably the goat, which is Caulifla. She is. I mean, honestly, I could put her if there was a tier above A, I'd put her in it. Like hit her and God Goku. She has 100% dodge against Pure Saiyans and TOP. Anyone from the Universal Survival Saga, no matter the particular saga. So that's pretty great. So all the Gods of Destruction events, by the way, put her in there. Even if she can't do anything, put her in there. She'll totally dodge everyone. Um, she will help against various easy A's, various red zones. She'll help against Turles if you can keep her alive up until the end. She is helpful in many a Super Battle Road. She has dodge based on the amount of Peppy Gals as well. So again, even in extreme Peppy Gals, she is immensely solid. Truly, she is broken. Just anywhere there's Pure Saiyan or TOP or just anyone related to Dragon Ball Super, basically, and you can stick them in. She cannot be touched, and she's best on Peppy Gals. Universe 6 as well, she's great. She also stacks defense, right? So that's brilliant. I'd imagine she'll get an easy A because she's a bit on the meh side. They don't tend to bring out too many of these. The next thing for Global's probably going to be AGL Kale. So I'd imagine after that, she's might not be strictly too far away. You got like Gogeta. Gogeta had his easy A, and best thing going for him is still his super attack counter. Now greatly raises attack and defense. He's pretty great. He has additional per super attacks. Gogeta. So Gogeta's good. Gogeta's good. He is still on this. Did he? Yeah, he's still on this. Basically still is. So Gogeta is, I've always said, better than Vegito. Is it going to be this or is it going to be no? So it's going to be called Goku and Vegeta. Goku and here we go. Because in particular, whilst Vegito has basically the same deal, when they transform, here we go. When they transform, you're still super effective and perform crits, which is better than the crit counters because it's guaranteed. But most importantly, you still have damage reduction, right? You still maintain the damage reduction, making them much more viable. They still have the same amount of this. Yeah, they lose the amount of attacks that they can do, sure, but then again, they do have this, which is for 5 turns. Yeah, it's not 10, but 5's still great. The crits and super effective means that these days you can hit them harder, and of course the damage reduction is still pretty nutty, and the key 5 helps out well. Because like Vegito doesn't do this. Vegito has the heal, and he has this, but and of course he has his counters, but that's basically it, right? Yeah, this is 10 turns, but sure. But Gogeta is better. You want to go for dodges because that way you can truly help out. Yeah, so because you could go additionals to maximize this, but I think dodges would really, really help. But yeah, so this unit is still pretty solid. I think defensively they're better still in this form. Because they will maintain their damage reduction no matter what, whether it's only for a few turns in the other form. But of course, the other form's just more powerful. So yeah, I mean, if this works out well as well, I mean, you could triple super, each doing this in pretty much everything but the top tier of most difficult events. You can do Gods of Destruction, yes. Super Battle Road, yes. Extreme Super Battle Road, yes. I mean, you probably need three super attacks, but yes. When it comes to like the red zone stages, probably not. When it comes to Cell Max, probably not. But everything else, yes. So like, yeah, Gods of Destruction. I've got people telling me that they can now do the Gods of Destruction because the amount of people that's come out since in those 2 years is pretty insane. So that's the reason why. Okay, so most underrated, but one of my favorite characters is Candy Vegito. He definitely deserves a particular look. So Candy Vegito in particular, let's have a look at him. So he is a legitimate beast. Let's have a look. Candy. Yeah, he is. So he is truly nutty, and he was fantastic even prior to his EZA. He just little bit more, right? The amount that he gets from per key sphere is slightly better, right? And I think did his chance of dodging? Okay, yeah. So he still has a 70% chance to evade. He still stacks, right? And he has this per tech key sphere, and even if it's non-tech key sphere, so that's pretty great. So you can heal. So units where you can have like tech orb changes, you can heal pretty well. He can be a fantastic slot one unit because he has 70% chance to dodge. Now in a lot of content he can be pretty meh because even at 55%, or even, sorry, hell, let's go 100% because, he's totally free to play. It's only 9,500. So, yeah, so he's very niche. I don't really think we'll get another one of this. Maybe an active skill from another Vegito where he'll have like total dodge or something. It'd be pretty cool if we did get maybe not so much a Dokkan Fest, but maybe like a banner unit or something with like a pretty weird active skill. Because like this is the only representation, and he's pretty cool, right? I mean, all of this that he does, he legitimately can work. Long events would help out the most. Obviously, it helps out like Patara, Battle of Wits, Final Trump. Legitimately can help out like Patara. The last time Patara got a buff was it's recently just come out, but it's physical Super Vegeto's EZA. Prior to that, wasn't really much going for it really. What it was last year, it was the third anniversary units had an EZA. Isn't really any new units, is there? Just a few easy A's here and there, but legitimately could be helpful. There's absolutely no doubt. It's a Halloween unit, pretty funky. Came out with the Ghost Go tanks, also on this tier list for the int. By the way, there's a nice sneak peek. But yeah, no, legitimately, this guy definitely belongs in here. Let's see what hit after his EZA. I mean, he was on here, was he? He was in top one prior to his EZA. Now he does, dude. Hit these days, but he has stun in his super attack. He has stun in his passive. He lowers the attack of somebody. It's pretty bizarre. He now has addition. He has stats on super attack. Dude does a lot. I think the only thing it doesn't do is literally seal. Wait, can I just bring up hit? Because I'm pretty sure. Uh, let's have a look. Hit. Yeah, he's pretty nutty. Universe 6 as well, and Universal Survival Saga, great leader skill. He doesn't seal, but look, he has stun chance here. He has stun chance here. He has a stun chance here of just even hitting the enemy, right? It's pretty nuts. He has this even just by himself, but he has this super effective against all types if the enemy is stunned. So additionals would just be crazy. Ridiculous buffs everywhere. Um, his EZA pretty much cements him in number one because of his stun chance, his attack lowering, his defense lowering. Dude has like three different proc chances of stuns. It's pretty nutty. Paired with Caulifla for Universe 6, pretty crazy, right? Paired with. Yeah, no, it's pretty much it. Gohan. So, like, I think last one we'll talk about is Gohan. Gohan's pretty great. He is dropping off, by the way, these days, but he is great for his links. Where is he, this guy? So, if this guy had an easy A, he'd be number one in the game again. I mean, his only real weakness is that he should just have key 3 flat out. Guaranteed guard, you know, decent start of turn stats, coming in at 55%. It's not great, but he does guard. But then he makes up for it with like Cold Judgment, sane lineage, and all in the family, giving like well, what that's 50% defense, which is pretty nutty. 50% defense. Yeah, two key. You're not going to get who has revival. You're not strictly really going to get revival, but yeah, okay. So I mean, you can get like 50% defense, which is pretty nutty. A lot of people like Cold Judgment. People with Cold Judgment. Who you going to rock with Cold Judgment? Let's see. So Gamma One has it, but I'm not too sure what teams you can have. Let's see. Uh, I'm trying to think of like, okay, so if you're going to go for like hybrid Saiyans, he's reasonable. Okay, if you want to rock Battlefield, yeah, okay, reasonable. Um, my other trunks, yeah, okay, so you could support some hybrids. Let's see. Hey, this guy can have it, and I'm pretty sure the physical one's probably got it on here as well. Maybe. I think he definitely has all in the family. Like, not a lot of people are rocking that in particular, but like when it comes to like all in the family, this is where things can get especially nutty. So like Path to Power, this kid Goku, no, this guy who's as powerful as an LR, Enraged Gohan, these two are pretty nutty that hit them. There's a lot of hype people, free to play, one of the best free to play units going. The other Ultimate Gohan. There's a lot of people on here which you could use. It is brilliant. The teams he's on, like he can totally solo Resurrected Warriors, Saviors, Defenders of Justice on the Super Battle Road. He's on like Entrusted Will, Sibling Bonds, Power of Wishes. Dude's on a lot of powerful teams. 200% team right here, right? A lot of these are 200%. And what's cool about it is even when you transform, still maintains guard. A lot of units when they transform, they lose guard, right? It's still pretty nutty. He even has slightly more stats, right? He does greatly raise attack, but and he does have a stun chance. But basically, you just stacked and gone all the way. And I think what helps for him the most as well is that he greatly stacks, not just defense, but attack. So you go for additionals, and if you can get the luck and you get like two super attacks per rotation, the dude's a monster. And for most events, like Super Battle Road Extreme and Super Battle Road Territory, Infinite History, two super attacks, and I think he's sitting at a comfortable realm. So a couple of rotations, and he's sitting virtually untouchable. So that's pretty great. So that's going to be it. So these are always going to be long videos, and I've tried to be fair, and you know the rules. The rules are, as I go through them, they're not all top LRs. They are not going to be power rankings. And of course, I try to blend it so it's fair between veteran and new people, fresher accounts, and these are the most helpful. Whether you got like heals, whether you got stacking, damage reduction, dodges, very niche categories, ridiculous start of turn stats like dodges, stonewall tanks, like complete dodges, and like stun chances, everything like that. That's what this particular graph is for. So, thank you very much for watching. This is the updated edition for the most helpful tech units, top 20 going for the nerds, for the super fans, coming in at a whopping 47 minutes. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you, and bye bye.